Hi, today I'm going to talk about a very important and burning issue, I should say, that is intimate partner violence. So, when you heard about this, how can a own partner inflict hurt or abuse on their own loved ones? But actually, this is happening, and this is happening from yesteryears, I should say. But now only we are like coining the term partner violence or gaslighting or psychological abuse, emotional abuse, and whatnot. But then this has been happening for ages, I should say, but people have not actually termed it. Usually the term like domestic violence or the physical violence or sexual abuse, all these are very much visible, and anybody can figure out that a partner is actually inflicting hurt on another person because it's very much visible. But there is something which is very invisible, and but it's happening more than equally, that I should say, it is a psychological abuse or an emotional abuse. We call it as gaslighting, wherein a partner is inflicting a hurt on another person. So usually this happens, who is going to be the victim is most of the times it's women. So rare cases it can happen the other way also, but here I'm mostly going to focus on the intimate partner violence, which is happening from a man to a woman. That's from a husband to a wife, or from a boyfriend to a girlfriend also. Because nowadays we are seeing in a lot of news articles also, this kind of things are happening. And before that woman could realize that there is no other way out, she's always thinking that there is no way out of this violence because of various reasons. And many would be wondering, if the woman knows that she's undergoing this kind of abuse or torture from her own partner, why is she not even opting to come out of this relationship? So I'm going to answer all these questions in this video, wherein I'm going to tell what is the kind of mental status of a woman who is caught in this abuse, and what is the characteristic of an abuser, and what is exactly trying to do. So this would help definitely a lot of women who may not be knowing that they are undergoing such kind of abuse. But this is not for a person who might even imagine that they are undergoing abuse or something, because some such cases are also happening. So don't overthink about this. You just, if you have any doubt that you're going through any other kind of intimate partner violence or a psychological abuse, please go see a mental health professional. You don't come to a conclusion and you just start having a paranoid or doubting your spouse. So this video is not going to be I would say the one place where you could always diagnose yourself. This is just a starting point. So you just get some clues from here, and again go for a mental health professional, or gather more evidences before you come to conclusion that you are a victim of intimate partner violence. But this video would definitely give you a lot of pointers about what you should watch out for and how you can come out of it. Because really a lot of women out there not even knowing that they're going through this kind of silent abuse, and each and every day they're undergoing it, and that undermines their self-worth, and it actually have a very bad impact on their mental health as well as physical health. So the quality of life is so much reduced. And what is the purpose of life after all? To just live this kind of abusive experiences? Definitely not. So women, please come out of this kind of intimate partner violence if you think you are under it, and you always can get help. Okay, help is not very far away, and I can also give you some kind of numbers wherein there is definitely a women's safety helpline, and there is also a lot of helplines for domestic violence. So definitely their help is out there. But if you feel you're trapped in this relationship, don't ever worry. You can always come out of this relationship. And I can tell you what is stopping you, by not wanting to seek help also. So when I'm going on talking about this kind of psychological abuse, and let's take a closer look to see what it actually is. So coming back to explain the term called gaslighting, which has come from an English movie actually. So this gaslighting is nothing but, because nowadays it's been googled a lot, they say. So this term, people have got a lot of awareness about gaslighting thing, because this is usually done by narcissistic people. Okay, let me explain about it a little later. So let's first take a look on what is gaslighting. So gaslighting is it's a trick, I should say, which is used by the perpetrator or by the abuser, and he inflicts it on the spouse, or generally a person who is a girlfriend or a boyfriend or whatever it may be. So what happens is he tries to control the victim or the partner by this kind of technique, wherein he makes the victim doubt her own sanity and her own perception of reality and her own memories. So this is very insane, I should say, because she started to question herself, question her own sanity. Am I really thinking rationally? Maybe I'm very rational, maybe I'm mentally sick. and she always keeps doubting herself, and this has a very major impact on her her own self-worth, and she has a lot of anxiety and confusions. So this leads to believe that, okay, my partner is the only go-to person and he can only save me. So slowly the abuser actually exerts control by starting to build the trust and break her boundaries, and starts to slowly exert control over the partner by using these kind of tactics. He can ask questions like, when did I say that? Or why are you so sensitive? When actually a woman can react to that kind of statements, but you could demean her experience by saying, why are you very sensitive when I said this? And he can even question her memory. When did this even happen? What are you talking about? Okay, he can even try to demean your experiences, and you may start believing maybe he's true. So this is a very worst case scenario, and this will not happen in a day. This is going to happen chronically over a period of time, wherein a woman will lose all her self-worth and think that she's good for nothing. So this is one such psychological abuse what a partner can inflict on another person. There are various other abuses which are possible and which is overtly seen, but this is a very covert abuse which is not very much visible, as I already said. So other abuses you could think about is sexual abuse, and also you can think about any physical abuse wherein a partner can slap or cause a lot of physical hurt to to their intimate partners. But those things can be immediately sought for help, and people can easily see black and white, oh, my husband is not actually a right person. Even then certain partners choose to stay there. We'll see the reasons soon. But still, this kind of abuse, the person is left to the confusion, whether is he a good person or not a good person. So I really don't know, I'm confused. So the woman starts to believe this partner because she feels that I'm actually worthless, so I actually have to depend. So the major aim of this the man is to make this victim, the person who is abused, to depend on him, so that she has nowhere to go, and he always cuts her off from her relationship also. He will isolate you from your own family and from your friends and say, you just choose, you want those people or me, I'm going to be the savior for you. So this kind of techniques, they may always trick on you so that you feel like he is the go-to person and you have to depend on him. So let me talk about the signs of gaslighting, because this is very important to know and watch out for the signs, because in my own counseling experience, I've seen much educated women also coming and telling me after 3 years of abuse, doctor, I've never known that I was under this kind of abuse. Only off late and recently, when this kind of abuse has become more physical, then when she could retrospect and figure out, oh, I was under this kind of gaslighting or emotional abuse or any other kind of psychological abuse. This is very pathetic on the part of the woman. So there are reasons why women cannot even understand that this is an abuse. So before that, let's see the signs of the gaslighting. The first sign would be feeling uncertain of their own perceptions, frequently questioning if they are remembering things correctly. They'll be questioning their own memories and believing they are irrational or crazy, feeling incompetent, unconfident or worthless, constantly apologizing, saying sorry to the abusive person, defending the abusive person's behavior to others, becoming withdrawn or isolated from others. So these are the telltale signs of a gaslighting. But gaslighting can happen between any other people, like from a parent to the child, or even in a medical scenario. But here in this video, I'm focusing on the gaslighting from a husband to a wife or a boyfriend to a girlfriend. So here, if you could see that these signs make some sense for you, you may be a victim of gaslighting, or you may be a victim of some psychological abuse which is very silent, and the results are very, very bad. As I told you, they may be having a very bad effect on your mental health as well as physical health, and most importantly, your self is broken. You feel very worthless and useless, and you can't just trust yourself. That is a very worst place to be in. So here, when I told you again that why this woman are going to be in this kind of abusive relationship, because it makes very much sense that if a partner is going to torture and abuse you, why can't you leave him? But it's not just very easy for a woman to say, yes, I can leave. There are a lot of psychological factors which are underlying factors are there which cannot allow them to leave this partner.